Hello everyone, and welcome to our first ever...
Thank you, Wash, for that.
You know what? I'm going to keep that in. Hello everyone, and welcome to our first ever Pixar retrospective called Pixarspective. I am the Wash _ on Twitch.
I am RandomBystanderHere. No underscore at all.
Clever. And I'm KirbyFan on everything.
And we love Pixar.
And yes, we love
For the
Pixar
most
very
part.
much. I want to say we wanted to do this for a while, but we have done this. We've done this.
Poorly.
Poorly. Very poorly.
The first time we did this, we recorded this on my camcorder, and it was just like the one shot. So you know,
we were eating pizza.
we were eating
I
pizza,
remember
so
that.
you know it was going great.
Yeah, we literally relied on the camera microphone and no extra mics or
Yeah.
anything like
Yeah.
that.
Yep.
Now I'm counting on my laptop mic.
Yep, it was just like hours and hours of footage, and I think I edited the first one, and then the rest
Yes.
was like way too much, and and more importantly, when we did that, we actually just like we basically just blasted through based mostly on what we remember about the films.
Yeah, without actually watching them proper.
Without what
Sometimes we did watch
we
them.
watched these proper. It's just that like we want to make sure this time that these are going to be fresh in our mind.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
We all
I think
watched...
we all had Toy Story, so Toy Story wasn't too bad as far as watching it.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
I don't know if we all own any of the others. Mostly
actually-
because I own like one Pixar movie, and that's Toy Story.
I actually had to rent a Toy Story on Amazon because, for those of you who don't, at this moment, I'm at my college right now, where I am in my media room all by myself. No one is here except for me, but they have a better microphone here, the Blue Yeti, so I'm taking advantage. But I'm literally stuck at school from 9:30 a.m. to 11 p.m. on Mondays, and I literally was like, you know what, I have to watch Toy Story for this, and I rented it off of Amazon, and I was just watching Toy Story in the library. It was great.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I was watching it. I watched it yesterday. God, did I even like make? I think I even made popcorn for myself.
Oh, you treating yourself, dude. Treating yourself.
God, it was quite the experience. Okay, so let's get this started.
Wait. Let's hear Kirby Fan's experience of watching it again.
Oh yes, Kirby fan. What's your experience like?
How could you forget her like that?
I turned on my TV and watched it.
Damn, that's the good life.
Yeah.
That probably peaked the mic a little bit. I'm sorry.
Well, I heard that. I heard all that clapping.
The power of the Blue Yeti. Now, hashtag not sponsored by Blue Yeti. And now, Pixarspective Episode 1. Toy Story.
Oh boy, what to say about Toy Story before even getting into it?
Oh God, yeah.
We've all seen it at a very young age, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
It was like
a better way of wording that would be we all saw it for the first time at a very young age.
Yes.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
It was probably like the first DVD I ever owned. It was definitely like the first DVD I ever remembered was Toy Story.
I owned it on VHS.
I still own it on VHS. It's the VHS that's inside of my CRT in my room right now.
I played it so much my VHS of Toy Story died.
And you found that out this morning.
This morning.
It wasn't even yesterday. You didn't have a full day to react to it. You found it out.
Because I was
When
just
you
gonna
woke up.
I was gonna be like, I'm gonna watch this early in the morning before I go to school, and then just went, and I just like it was working, but it got to the point where it would kept fluttering and making static all throughout the VHS. So
I mean, that's the
it's
way
so-
to experience Toy Story.
So it was literally you woke up, today's gonna be a great day, and then Toy Story died.
No, Toy Story doesn't die until Toy Story 4 comes out, but we're going to talk about that another time.
Oh, Toy Story 4 will be topical. We could do first impressions of Toy Story 4. All 0 of us that are going to see it in theaters.
We're going to do an episode where we just talk about what we think it's about, what we hope it's about.
Toy Story.
Toy Story. Should we start with a like a plot? Like go into.
Let's start with our own personal experiences with the movie. Random, I think should start.
Okay. And let's try to not get in as much tangents as possible, because we have a bad habit of doing that.
I'll be here to knock you off if you get too off track.
Thank you. So let's see. I remember Toy Story being one of the first films I ever saw as a kid. I'm not sure if we saw it in theaters, but I definitely saw it on DVD. In fact, my mom knew I loved it so much, she actually took a blank VHS and recorded it, because I don't think when it was on TV, and that's the one that died. But but yeah, it was historically amazing, because it was one of the first fully animated computer film ever made, and it blew people's minds, and it blew my mind all the way. I had a Woody doll, I had a Buzz Lightyear action figure, I had a it made me want a Mr. Potato Head. It made me just, I like the characters, and I consider it still one of my favorite movies that Pixar has ever produced.
Okay, very nice. That was very, very, very heartfelt. I like that.
I like that.
What about you, The Wash?
My experience. Oh gosh, the trouble with Toy Story is that it was, because this film came out in 1995, and Rando and I were both 1. We literally cannot remember a pre-Toy Story era. And the thing is, I now I'm thinking about it, I think I probably had I think I remember watching this on VHS as well. I think it was my uncle had a copy, and we would watch it over and over again, and then I guess my parents decided to get the DVD, and I would just watch that over and over again. I would go into the bonus features, and I watched Tin Toy, which was the short that came before Toy Story came out. I think the major part of the Toy Story experience is that it's the film that got better with age. For quite a long part of my life, I just kind of, oh yeah, Toy Story is a good film, but it's not until I start watching it as I get older, and as I get more into movies and such, that I realized that this is more than just a groundbreaking animated film, because you can make the Snow White. You can make the first animated feature. You can do that, but also it can still not be great. It can still not age well. And what's been really surprising about watching it over the years, and especially watching it last night, is just how well this aged. Last night I was a little worried that it was some of the magic was gonna wear off. No, it holds up every time. It's quite remarkable, and we'll definitely get into that as we go along the discussion.
Yeah.
All right, I think it's a certain fan of Kirby's turn.
Yes. When I say this stuff, I'm typically a lot quicker about it. So, like with most people, when I first saw Toy Story, it was on VHS, or most like us. I mean, I saw it on VHS for the first time. I was very young. I don't remember how old. I'm going to say I had to be about 4 at the oldest when I first saw it. And I just remember it was one of those movies that I would watch 3-4 times a week. I remember the first time I watched the movie, not necessarily as an adult, but as somebody that could properly process media and critique it. I just remember thinking to myself, I don't remember. There's so much of the movie that I just don't remember. because when I watched it as a kid, I didn't actually care about the quotes or anything. I just cared that, look, it's Woody, he's the cowboy, and oh no, it's sad when Buzz tries to fly and he fails. I remembered those moments, but I didn't remember a lot of the fun, quirky moments with the side characters.
Hey, who's got my hat?
Look, I'm Woody. Howdy, howdy, howdy.
Give me that.
I didn't remember that. It's one of those movies where general watcher can appreciate the movie just because good movie. No, I don't think any of us are going to argue that point. It's a good movie. But what's really great about it is that there's a lot of little charm to it. Right after that scene I talked about, Buzz refers to Rex and Slinky Dog as Lizard and Stretchy Dog. And those two nicknames are such a big mood, and I love... There's a lot of little stuff to Toy Story, and it works.
I will build onto that. I have in my notes, because I completely forgot about this until I watched it. I have in my notes that Woody gives like petty nicknames to Buzz, and I don't know if I have all of them, but the two that I wrote down is that he calls him Light Beer and
Light Beer
and Light Snack.
Yep.
And that is so that is so charming.
Oh, it's wonderful. I noticed that too. I was like, light beer?
I was also surprised that they even like referenced beer in a G movie, because this was a G movie, right?
So that's my 20 cents. We can move on.
Yes. Oh my God. Where do we start now?
Oh, as good a place as any. The plot.
Yes, the plot.
Who would like to start?
So basically, wait. Do you want to do a Kirby Man?
Well, no. I was just gonna say who I thought should have done it, but if you want to do it, go right ahead.
So, Toy Story is about a...
Off to a roaring start.
All right, Random. Please describe Toy Story to us. So, Toy Story.
In a world.
Toys. In a world
where toys come to life when they're
that's it, honestly. It's a world where toys come to life, and we see what toys do when we're not watching. And not only that, it's the story about one particular toy named Woody, and how he's like basically like the top toy in this, and he's Andy's favorite toy. Andy's the kid. And it takes place like the day of the birthday party, and everything's all good. They get a little nervous because new toys are coming because of birthday presents. And then later on, the last gift that Andy gets is a Space Ranger action figure named Buzz Lightyear. And Buzz is the fancy new toy with lasers that can fly, quote unquote. You didn't see my air quotes there, but they were there. And Woody gets a little bit jealous. And it shows that throughout the film how he's afraid of being replaced. And at one point in the film, Woody tries to like knock Buzz down in between like a drawer or something, and and unfortunately it goes a little bit too far, where Buzz gets thrown out the window, and basically a series of events leads to like where Woody and Buzz get separated from Andy, and they must work together in order to get back to Andy's house before he moves.
Absolutely. And that's 71 minutes. It's in and out.
Yeah, I'm so used to movies being at least 90 minutes nowadays. They're at least like 90, 95. Toy Story, 71. For a film with a lot of little things that make it charming, there's no real time wasted.
Yeah, that's what's been really surprising, because as I'm watching it, I'm thinking about like the script and the screenplay, and it is so tightly written. There's so much great setup and payoff.
Oh yes, it's wonderful. Woody gets the shine, of course. Buzz gets the shine. Woody and Buzz have their own little arcs, but I think even like the side characters get a little bit of a chance to shine as well. And everyone really
great cast of characters all around,
both in voice acting and character development.
Oh yes. It's like even with a character as simple as Slinky Dog, there's a great arc that's happening through the film. They have their own wants and they have their own desires.
Well, I mean, if I'm going to be honest, it's not so much I think it's a flaw with the film so much. I just think the weakest part of the film is the plot itself, because this isn't really a story that goes too deep into any particular kind of message or something. Even the moral at the end, with not so much the moral, but Woody's turnaround, and Buzz's realization and everything. It's nothing too deep. It's nothing too complex. It's simple. I don't see it as a problem. If anything, I see it as a strength, that the plot is simple enough that anybody can really understand it, especially for a movie like this that's the first of its kind, that is inevitably going to be tested to see how it's aged. Doesn't really have that problem because there's nothing too complex with it. It's all very, very simple, very easygoing, and a lot of what makes the movie good is in the details, I think. It's not so much, you say a plot summary, I joked at the beginning saying, in a world where toys come to life, one toy finds out the world is much bigger than he thinks, or something. It's just like, well,
but that's kind of what. Nah,
you can summarize it in a sentence. It's nothing too complicated. It makes it very approachable, very lighthearted, easygoing, easy to digest. It's almost like a good game, and how a really good game is easy to play but difficult to master. This is just a movie that's easy to digest, but the more you pick at it, the more you find out it works, and that's good. It legitimately holds up over 20 years later.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I will say I never really noticed this until now.
Yeah.
Well, I mean I heard like little bits and pieces. This is more to do with characters than plot, I think. But it'll be a nice transition.
Okay.
It's kind of funny how the toys treat Andy's room like almost a corporate setting.
Yes. Office. That's very much intentional.
Yes. Absolutely.
Yeah, that kind of went over my head a couple times, and then I was like, wait a minute, I've been to offices like this.
Tuesday night's plastic corrosion awareness meeting was, I think, a big success, and we want to thank Mr. Spell for putting that on for us. Thank you, Mr. Spell.
Yeah, it really helps that
staff meeting, everybody. It's time for a staff meeting.
it really helps that with this idea of like toys coming to life, they grounded in something that like that like kids and adults will totally get. That sort of just office environment of of dealing with all these different personalities, the jokes that people make during meetings.
Moving, buddy. You can't be serious.
Well, I didn't know we were supposed to have one already.
We have to hold hands.
But on that note, I feel like I'm leading this, which is weird because in the previous Pixarspectives, I felt Wash was leading them, and now like I'm the one transitioning.
It's your Twitch career. That's what's changed.
I guess.
Yeah, it's character development. You're learning how to lead.
Speaking of character,
let's talk about characters.
I like them.
Yes,
I agree.
Who do you like better, Woody or Buzz?
In Toy Story 1, I prefer Woody.
Why?
Okay, so I enjoy Buzz. I'm not saying that I dislike Buzz, but I feel like Buzz's shtick is much simpler than Woody. He's an idiot who thinks that he's the real deal when he's actually just a toy. Woody's a little more. Again, I'm not saying that it's a problem. The whole movie's thing is simplicity, but Woody has just enough depth to the character where there's a little more going for him. I never really felt too invested with Buzz, whereas with Woody, when he was thinking about knocking Buzz out, this was again very much intentional from the staff team. When Woody was initially plotting to knock Buzz off the dresser, I was thinking, Woody, you're better than that. You don't have to do that. You see multiple sides of Woody. You see the Woody who's in charge, who can take command of things. The Woody who's jealous of Buzz, has envy, wants to be with Andy again. I will say that something that I guess we're going to have a con section or whatever, but I never really understood. I guess it was Andy losing Woody that made him appreciate him, but it was just very weird. I'm obsessed with Buzz, and then when he gets Woody back, it's just this really equal balance between the two. But ultimately, there's just enough complexity to Woody. Again, it's nothing deep, but for a movie like this, I really like what they did with Woody.
I think it's apples and oranges. I think they both have the great strength. Buzz is more than just like Part of his idiocy is his optimism. He really feels in his gut that he can get through this. If only this weird sheriff wasn't stopping him. Like he was spending like a lot of his days at Andy's house just fixing up his ship and getting in shape. Like he just wants to go. The revelation. First off, I'm just gonna take this start this right off. The Buzz Lightyear commercial is probably the funniest way to mentally break a character.
My favorite part about that commercial is when he says there's a secret mission in uncharted space, and for the sake of the movie to be able to work, Buzz has to hit his button to say there's a secret mission in uncharted space. But the way the commercial handles that is just by having Buzz rotate and having nothing happen in the commercial itself. I saw in the bonus feature just the completely unedited commercial. Yeah. Where it's just the commercial. No Buzz, no nothing. It is so awkward. It's a good commercial. It's accurate for the times and stuff.
Oh yeah.
But then it just stops. The commercial takes a complete break and then it just slams its foot on the gas and it doesn't stop until the end.
That's one of the few moments in the film where it goes into straight parody, where it just it goes into straight satire. And it's
available at Al's Toy Barn outlets in the Tri-County area.
Yeah.
Which is a nice little thing. Which is a nice little touch because they include Al's Toy Barn more in Toy Story 2, but we'll get to that when we get to that.
But
yeah, that is the funniest way to mentally scar someone.
Absolutely. And what was the thing is, like, you have this hilarious commercial, and it actually takes its time well enough up to it doesn't become a mood whiplash. You have the commercial. Buzz is trying to like wrap his brain around what's happening, and he's looking out the window out to the birds, and then he makes one final commitment. He's still got that optimism. He's still got that confidence in himself, and he's gonna prove his brain wrong. He's gonna fly, and then it's just crushing when he's just slowly, bam, bam, bam. He lost his arm, and he's a toy.
Flaw of the movie that would have been as impactful as you say it was as it was, and you know where I'm going with this.
Oh my God!
Well, Randy Newman was singing in the back.
Clearly, I will no more.
Okay, yes, the Randy Newman.
But no,
okay,
it can't be true.
I can fly. I want it to, like a bird in the sky. I believe I can fly. Why I'd fly.
This might be because I recently bought the Toy Story soundtrack and got to listen to it myself. But I'm okay with Randy Newman to a point.
I'm okay with You've Got a Friend in Me. I can accept You've Got a Friend in Me. It's played at the beginning of the movie, and it's a good catalyst for what's to come.
It's the best song.
Oh yeah, it's a great number.
But
it's the
this
best
one,
song
and
Randy
especially Strange Things Are Happening to Me. That one is just like all kinds of stupid.
Strange things. Ain't no doubt about it.
Ain't no doubt about it.
It's especially like once you get to the credits and they do the song again, but this time it's a duet. It suddenly becomes a thing where like there's another singer who's clearly much better than Randy Newman, and it kind of like their palate is cleansed by that point. It's like, oh yeah, that's what the human voice is supposed to sound like.
And then you hear Randy Newman again.
Oh, we're probably gonna hear Randy Newman in Toy Story 4, aren't we?
Well, I mean, we barely heard him in Toy Story 3. It was just You Got a Friend in Me again, right?
Really?
We hardly heard him in Toy
Story
Story 2, really.
Yeah, that too.
Yeah.
It was really just Toy Story 1.
Yeah, it's really just Toy Story 1, and I'm not really sure what the process is with, because that's the thing that like you can, and they did, make an album out of all the songs in Toy Story, and yet it's not a musical, and it's only 71 minutes.
It's a 71-minute movie where the main characters are Woody and Buzz. Which do you prefer?
Wash.
Yeah. Thank you, Kirby fan.
I think I'm just gonna have to go back to I can't choose because it's apples and oranges.
All right.
I know that's a cop out, but they both have very great strengths, and you brought up a lot of the Woody strengths, so I felt like it would.
Well, hold on. Does Random prefer Buzz to Woody? Because if he does, he could be the one to talk about Buzz's strength.
Although honestly, Wash kind of did. But
okay.
they both have equal strengths, I'd say. Woody is a natural born leader. He's a little bit confident, a bit cocky, but not too bad though.
Mm-hmm.
And when we see the bonding between him and Andy in the first Randy Newman song, "You Got a Friend in Me," and it's sad to see it taken away. Not just taken away, but taken away by a buffoon in Woody's eyes.
Yeah.
And so it's like insult to injury a little bit. But on the bright side, Buzz is determined. Buzz is optimistic. He believes he's a space ranger, and you believe that he believes he's a space ranger, and it gets comical.
Now for the tricky part. Pliers!
I don't believe that man's ever been to medical school.
That was one line that stuck in my head, and it's almost satire. How funny! It's just like how it's hilarious how serious he takes it. And when we do see he's crushed and his spirit's crushed, and he gets more into like the toy reality. But even then, we get a little whole stage where he's just like depressed, as he should be.
He gets depressed, and then he gets drunk on Darjeeling. And by the way, that scene, isn't it such a great detail that Mrs. Nesbit is with is with two dolls with no head?
Yes.
That's such a great little thing they threw in.
Yeah.
Yes.
But yeah, Buzz, and we do see Buzz's arc and how he gets over his depression and how the fact he isn't a space ranger, but he is a toy, and he's a darn good one at that. And they use that to work together. However, as much as I do admire Buzz, I think I like Woody more in Toy Story 1 because it's his story. He's
the protagonist.
He's the protagonist.
The main character.
Yeah.
It's a buddy comedy, but he is the star of the show.
Yeah, he is the one who goes through the major change. I mean, Buzz goes through the major change too, but Woody carries the narrative. The story would not survive without Woody.
Mm.
And you guys bring up a whole bunch of great points about him, and like I said, he's a natural born leader, and he grows so much, and he's able to grow. Yeah, with Buzz, and they're able to work together with the help of Woody, and he even learns to rely on Buzz at points, not just in this film, but all future films from now on. And yeah, I like them both, but I probably like Woody in this film better.
If I'm thinking about it, I might be leaning a little more towards. That's the thing, is that whenever we talk about favorites, it sounds like the other one is lesser because of it.
Yeah, that's kind of the problem with that choice of words.
Yeah. I feel like we need something better to like a different way of describing it, because even saying most solid is not. It doesn't really convey it quite enough. Just how well developed Woody and Buzz are.
How about which one?
They're just both amazing.
Yeah. There's really. I had something, but it doesn't really work.
They're both.
It's really which one do you prefer? That's really all it boils down to. There's no real way to say it without diminishing the other one, even though they're both
okay. Then if it's which one do I prefer, then I'm gonna answer that question by quoting this this tweet that somebody said where, like, as you get older, you relate more and more to Squidward. And as you get older, you, like you're laughing at Buzz's antics, but also you understand more and more Woody's
frustration,
like, anger that everyone loved this jerk.
This idiot, this buffoon. Who thinks he's a real space ranger?
The new coworker that clearly less qualified, but god damn it that everybody just love him.
He's gonna take my job.
and yeah, that's exactly what happens.
Yeah, pretty much.
Right.
Which of I don't want to say the entire ensemble because there's way too many, minor characters in the movie, but of the minor characters, I mean, I don't want to say it as which of the characters that appeared in Toy Story 3 do you like the most. But that's practically
let's just talk about like the ones. Let's just list them. List them. They're all
the characters that you think of when you think of Toy Story, other than Woody and Buzz. There's Slinky. Yeah. There's Rex. There's Ham. There's Potato Head. There's the army troops. There's Bo.
But even there's the little ones like the Muscle Toy, RC. What's the name of the
Lenny.
Binoculars? That's the name of the binocular guy?
Binoculars, yep.
The Army Men. God, that whole scene.
Yeah.
With the Army Men. That's
Rest in peace the actor who played him. Who he's the general. He was the general from Full Metal Jacket, and he just brings it back full force. Like, you are an absolute disgrace.
Where is your honor, dirtbag?
A good soldier never leaves a man behind.
Let's be honest, though.
They're talking about like little kids.
Yeah. If he left him behind, what would happen? His mom would pick him up and throw him back in Andy's room.
Or throw him out.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Oh, I guess.
Yeah.
But we don't discuss that till the second movie. But let's going back to like you saying about rest in peace the guy from Full Metal Jacket. Rest in peace to a lot of voice actors.
Oh yeah.
Mr. Potato Head's Don Rickles.
Rest in peace.
Jim Varney.
Rest in peace.
Joe Ramp.
That's right, as Lenny. Rest in peace. Yeah.
Rest in peace.
Yeah. Well, we got Tom Hanks. That's good.
Tom Hanks, Tim Allen, the inconceivable guy from The Princess Bride. I forget it. Sean Wallace. That's his name.
Oh yes, that's right.
Inconceivable.
And Pixar's favorite, John Ratzenberger.
Yes, it's gonna be a sad day when he dies.
Yeah.
Or I think Pixar will stop making movies. Just imagine if like Pixar goes out of business the same year that John Ratzenberger dies.
They're gonna bring back like a CGI version of him to do the voice acting.
Or they're gonna be like Stan Lee and record all his lines ahead of time.
Like God forbid that happens. I think they'll do like a touching little tribute and then continue onwards, because it's kind of part of the fun that they bring John Ratzenberger back. I think it started out as mostly like a coincidence.
Yeah.
Like they brought him because the next movie was
A Bug's Life,
and they brought him back, and then the one after that was Toy Story 2, and then obviously you got to bring back Ham. And then from that point on, it just became like a little gag.
But anyway, Ham is good. All of them, as we mentioned, have their like unique quirks. Ham's kind of like the laid-back coworker, just like I'm just here. I'm just doing what I gotta do, just doing my job. Mr. Potato Head is like the jokester / troublemaker of the group, who like makes jokes during the meeting and isn't afraid to start up trouble.
He's a jokester that's also very, very jealous of Woody. That jealousy fuels him to sabotage Woody as well. Like, he's the one that translates the RC car, saying that Humpty Dumpty was pushed by Woody.
But yeah, and it's kind of like stated. I love how the opening scene kind of foreshadows that with just the playtime. Because he's One-Eyed Bart.
God, I didn't even think about like how it foreshadowed how crappily Mr. Potato Head gets treated in playtime.
Ages 3 and up. I'm not babysitting Princess Drool.
Hey, Ham, look, I'm Picasso.
I don't get it.
You uncultured swine. What are you looking at, you hockey puck?
A very quotable movie.
Oh yeah, it's
But even then, that little quote demonstrates how like little Mr. Potato Head's kind of like respected, and just how like he's the villain of the story. He's the Stinky Pete of the Office.
Yeah, he's much more like Mr. Potato Head is much more of a villain than Sid. Like Sid is just like some kid. He's just a kid that needs an outlet, and he just blows up toys. That's a lot of kids. A lot of kids do that. A lot of kids just like rip up dolls and.
Granted, that's more terrifying than a jealous potato head.
I mean, in the roundtable discussion, they said that like if Sid grows up, he would be an animator because he's just so creative. Just like putting a pterodactyl head on a doll. Just all these like how cool is it that little frog with wheels? Like that should be a given. The frog should have wheels.
All the toy designs are cool, from the simple ones like Andy's, the ones in Andy's room, to the crazy like morph like Camaro like ones in Sid's. So even like the stuff in Pizza Flame, like the little green men who, I'm gonna say it, were the minions of their time.
Yes, they were very
but
much.
not nearly as bad.
They were very much the precursor of that sort of character that you push hard in the advertising.
Yeah.
Minions were merely that perfected.
In other words, the little green men were the Atari of video games, and minions were the Nintendo Entertainment System of animation. Wait,
what?
I'm saying when it comes to like comparing it to video games, little green men are like the first video game system, like Pong, while minions are like the Nintendo Entertainment System of animation. Like everyone knows about it now.
I mean, everyone knows about Pong.
I mean, yeah, but everyone knows about the little green men. I'm basically saying in a weird way that the minions.
I mean, we're definitely going to be talking as we're going on. We're definitely going to be talking more about because a lot of these Pixar films have those sort of minion characters, like the seagulls in Finding Nemo and such. And if I'm gonna go for a tiny negative, I mean the green aliens are fine. But I don't know why they had so much focus in the advertising beyond just like them saying, "Whoa."
It's kind of like how the 3D animation in SpongeBob Sponge Out of Water was the focus in the trailer, but not really a big thing in the movie itself.
Yeah, and like in the film they were fine. They were. If you're thinking about this in a sort of world building sense, they would be the kind of toys that would come out if their only existence is the claw machine.
The claw.
It moves.
That's so.
He has been chosen.
He has been chosen.
And they work well in that respect. And then one of the lucky aliens is ready for Nirvana and is promptly torn apart by Scud the dog.
At least it's implied. I've seen some chew
No,
toys.
it's not implied. We see it happen. We see this like decaying corpse by the end of the film.
Oh, we do?
What, you forgot about the toys coming to life?
That's right, your toys.
Oh, I missed that.
You missed that whole scene?
No,
he missed the alien.
Yeah, I missed the alien.
Oh no, yeah, there was a shot for that. Yeah. I think what came out, I think it was popping out of like a dog dish. It was underneath the dog dish.
Oh.
Yeah, a nice little detail.
Actually, I don't think I remember that whole scene.
Yeah, not like it was important or anything, or the only time we're like toys.
Yeah, that's
acted real in front of their humans.
This is jumping ahead to like a movie that doesn't exist yet, but with Toy Story 4, the whole premise is that like there's a toy that's coming to life and it's gonna break out the secret about toys, but it's like Woody just did that. Like there's a line in the movie where he says we're gonna break a few rules. They already did the toys coming to life, and it is exactly as it should be. Absolutely terrifying.
Yeah.
It's like it's at certain point it becomes like body horror.
We end with like the whole turning of Woody's neck
Yeah.
360 degrees.
We toys can see everything.
and yeah,
I hope that sounded as creepy with close up to the mic.
Were we talking about the other characters?
Yeah, we were. But
well, no,
And then we just kind of dove off. Well, I mean, Sid is among the other characters, I guess.
Yeah, we've been talking about Sid, and we talked a little bit about Scud. I'm gonna bring up Scud.
He's a dog.
I'm gonna bring up Scud the dog a little later once we talk about the animation.
Oh.
Yeah, we'll get to animation.
You know what human character we haven't talked about much?
Andy's mom.
Andy. Well, Andy in general.
I wrote down. This is the first thing I jotted in my notes was the actor who played Andy did a really solid performance.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was not bad.
It didn't feel like. Apology to the drama student. It didn't feel like drama school. It didn't feel like putting on the voice and the wow. It felt like a kid playing toys. It felt like what was going through my mind when I was playing with my toys. When I was playing with like a little Hulk action figure, and like I created like this little sitcom in my head of all these shenanigans, and it makes sense in the context of a kid. I've got my attack dog with the built-in force field. That makes total sense.
Well, I got my dinosaur who eats force field dogs.
Say goodbye to the wife and tater tosh. Love that kid's
I
writing.
forgot about that.
Yeah, he's going places as a writer.
Oh, yeah. Don't you know he went to college for creative writing?
I sure. If you
No,
wanna
he didn't.
if you wanna go with
didn't.
that
Actually,
canon, that's up to you.
That was me being sarcastic. He went to college for animation.
Whoa.
He went to Pixar U.
Oh no.
Is that our segue?
To animation.
Oh, animation. Oh, yeah.
I mean, I don't think there's anything else to talk about, like character.
What do we think of Andy's mom?
She is the real conflict. She's the one who could only made Andy choose to pick.
Andy's
only one
mom
toy.
was the true antagonist.
Andy's mom was the twist villain.
Oh my god.
I'm sorry, honey. I looked for them everywhere. I don't know where they went.
I mean, when you think about it, it's because of Andy's mom that we have a birthday party 1 week before the move.
Yeah, I know. If it had happened during the move, things
It could happen
would
after
do.
the move. I mean,
Yeah.
a move is pretty damn important.
Andy's mom injured one of the toy soldiers.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
That's right.
I think she's just some kind of psychopath.
She is.
Yeah.
She really is, yeah.
Worse than Sid.
Sid's toys, at the end of the day, were still alive. Andy's toy was ready to die.
Yeah, he was ready. He was ready to go on and just. He was saying, "Go on without me." But thankfully, a good soldier never leaves a man behind.
I mean, he got fixed up, but if he didn't,
Yeah, if it weren't for the other
Oh
army
my
men,
gosh. Yeah, I you know,
Andy's mom would have claimed
Cool.
another victim.
it's very important that we point out that Andy's mom is just such a like a core of evil.
Yeah, she's worse than the Prospector and Lotso combined.
yeah, like,
Yeah.
I don't know. There's a very small list of things that I can think of worse than mildly injuring a toy.
Yeah.
I know what I can think of that's worse. Terrible
Animation.
human animation. Actually, the animation for the toys is really good in this movie.
The toys look fine. The toys look fine.
Well, yeah. Part of the pitch for this film is that, like, with the early CGI, everything looks like plastic, so you might as well do plastic.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's not until once we get to a Buzz Life, we can judge it on that case. But it's not until then that we start to get into stuff that's a little more natural. But having said that, I will slightly disagree about the toy animation to a very specific point. I will do one big positive. I was very impressed, especially first time, with the body performances. They really do a good job with like giving a lot of physicality, especially when this was still like a new science of CGI animation.
Yeah.
Although there are a couple moments where they like certain like body performances just sort of like snap into place. Like the scene where Andy's mom kisses Andy goodnight. It's, as I'm watching it, I can see the keyframes where it's just like a straight like and then she moves up to position here, and then she moves to position here, and then she moves up, and it felt really robotic in that respect.
I didn't notice that, but maybe because I was so engrossed in the story.
Well, yeah, it takes a lot of watchers to start to notice that. But with the toys, one thing that felt a little jarring were the lips.
Oh yeah.
A lot of I don't know if it was because they put with the way they were doing production, they cleaned up like some of the shots, and then the ones that were lower priority they didn't focus as much on. But there were some shots that where the lips were looking pretty good, like they looked like the curvature was right for it. And then there were others where you can clearly see the triangle. You can clearly see just like
it's very obvious.
I will say, adding to that, a lot of times, like, you could tell what was meant to be focused on. Because, like, one example I give during, like, the moving truck scene, like, you see, a close-up of, like, Potato Head and maybe Lenny just, like, reacting to the fact that Woody's coming in fast. And you just see, like, Slinky just with, like, his tongue sticking out, all derpy looking in the background.
Yeah, and I actually know exactly what you're talking about.
And I was like, that threw me off for a second. I'm like,
I think my favorite bit of, not so much my favorite bit of animation, but it's just a thing that you don't really get away with anymore, but because it was just so early in the animation's life, nobody really questions it. Nobody really even still questions it, is when Andy and Buzz are having the argument under the truck at the gas station once Andy drives off, and Woody is normally taller than Buzz, but in this moment Woody and Buzz are at the same height because that would make it funnier, so that one's not looking down on the other. So the trick that they did to make Woody shorter was that they didn't reduce the size of his model, they just moved him into the ground so that him and Buzz were the same height. You never actually see below Woody's legs, because if you did, you would see he's just in the ground.
Well, you're just gonna work with what's in the camera. Yeah, absolutely.
I adore that. I adore it. So, you don't do that anymore.
You know what the scariest animation in Toy Story is?
What?
It's not Sid. It's not Andy or his mom. It's not Scud. It's Sid's sister.
Yeah, she looks bad.
She looks terrifying.
She looks horrible.
Like, God. I was like, she looks like an alien that wants to eat me.
When Sid takes Janie, the first scene that she's in, and she's at the door and he says, "Janie's all better now," and she screams. That's like the worst part of it to me. That was probably the part that's the worst.
Yeah.
I mean, it probably worked at the time, but
on the topic of her, extreme nitpick, but why did Woody saying "Hannah, oh Hannah"? Why did that work?
I noticed that. I did.
That's a good question.
I think.
Do you not know how your mom sounds?
It's possible.
Is she not home that often?
It's possible that Hannah has a little bit of a hearing impairment and just doesn't recognize her own mom's voice.
To be fair, we don't know what she sounds like.
Well, no, we do.
No, we do. Your Pop-Tarts are ready. All right.
Yeah. That was the mom. Yeah, we do get the.
Okay, that's one. So that's how Woody knows her voice. Okay.
And you know what?
But he sounds nothing like her.
This is jumping.
Story-wise, it makes sense.
This is jumping back to the script, but now that you mentioned that scene, what I hadn't noticed before is that the scene with Sid in using the magnifying glass to like burn a hole in Woody's temple, it is actually a setup so that by the end, when the RC car dies, and they need to find a way to light the rocket, they use Buzz's dome as a magnifying glass to light up the rocket.
You didn't.
Brilliant.
You didn't.
That's great.
You didn't notice that foreshadowing? Because I saw that like
years ago.
when I was a kid.
No, it's just
Yeah,
I guess it's just, I hadn't really thought about it in terms of like an actual like screenplay. Like obviously there was a connection. It's just that I hadn't thought about like how they had a scene of Sid torturing Woody and Buzz, and they actually give it a payoff later in the film.
Yeah.
Moving back to animation, Scud the dog, his feet are constantly floating.
This is true.
I keep
Oh, wow.
I'm watching like the walk cycle and especially the run cycle, and it doesn't feel like there's any sort of connection to it, to the ground, and I feel like part of it is because Scud's like feet are more like nubs. His paws are like nubs, and so there's no real like flexibility and physicality to it when it's on the ground and such. It looks weird. It looks really weird. The animation is definitely it's one of the fastest to age in this film.
I think we've had our general thoughts on everything: music, story, characters. Do we have any final words to say about Toy Story or anything we've forgotten to mention?
Yeah, I guess if we have any random anecdotes about the movie to say them now before we get to our final thoughts.
Yeah, strange things are happening.
The music is good aside from Randy Newman. I'll say that.
He did all the music. I will say he's
a
a better composer than he is a singer.
Yeah, I think the music in the movie is good. I think the songs in the movie are stupid.
Except for You Got a Friend in Me. That's my jam.
His songwriting kind of hits the nail a little too hard. Like, we get it. The song is about what's happening.
I could fly if I wanted to. Oh.
Yeah.
At least,
anything else before final thoughts? Even though we kind of said what our final thoughts were in the intro, we could always just kind of repeat what we said.
I'm looking through my notes, just like some like little small details. Let me see. I noticed that Buzz's origin story, like when he's talking at the gas station, I noticed that his origin story is identical to Princess Leia's from Star Wars.
Right now, poised at the edge of the galaxy, Emperor Zurg has been secretly building a weapon with the destructive capacity to annihilate an entire planet. I alone have information that reveals this weapon's only weakness.
Like, it's beat for beat. It's
I alone carry that weapon's only weakness.
That's why the movie's so successful.
Yeah,
it's Star Wars.
Yeah.
2.0.
It's Toy Wars.
At the last night before the move, Mr. Potato Head and Rex pop out of the cardboard box, and it's like, how did I get stuck with you? It's a moving buddy. Everyone else was picked. Which is funnier thinking about it, because that means nobody likes Rex or Mr. Potato Head.
Well, okay, no. Here's the thing. I give you that to Mr. Potato Head. Rex was probably just too paranoid and shy and scared to ask somebody else if he wanted to be a moving buddy.
Okay, yeah.
And then by the time he finally worked up the courage to ask somebody, nobody else was picked.
God, Rex was just so I don't think we talked enough about Rex. Rex is so fucking funny.
Rex is funny and relatable.
I howled at so many of Rex's lines.
Oh, really? I'm from Play School. And I'm from Mattel. Well, I'm not really from Mattel. I'm actually from a smaller company that was purchased in a leveraged buyout.
And Buzz is just like, what? Who cares?
Are you scared? Tell me you're scared. Honestly.
I think I just come off as annoying.
There is that nervous coworker too, who they're trying, but they're just They just need to work on that self-esteem.
So
no, oh great! Now I feel guilt. Oh, Rex is amazing, and he only gets better and better with every sequel.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
All right. So, final thoughts, everybody. We'll start.
Okay.
I guess we'll go backwards. So I'll start this time. Great movie. Loved it. Went into it. This is probably. I don't even know how many times I've watched this movie, but I've watched this movie a lot of times, and every time I watch it, I like it. There's so many times I've seen it, and so many times I still like it. It holds up.
Mm-hmm.
That's the way I see it. Moving on, I think Wash went second, so Wash can continue to go second.
Oh, okay. I'm the middle child here, and I will say it really does surprise me every time I watch it. It is such a solid start for this brand new animation company. Like the fact that it's 71 minutes and it's just the most solid 71 minutes you'll have in a while. It really does get better with age. It gets better every time I watch it. It's wonderful. Absolutely. It is full of wonder. I love it.
Well said.
Yeah.
Well said. That leaves us with one more before we close off for the night, and that is
Random Bystander here.
Yes, it's me. Honestly, I paid $3.99 to rent this on Amazon, and that was still not enough to justify how much this movie is amazing, because I would have paid more. I would have paid so much more, even if it's just renting.
I feel that.
I should have. Why? The only reason I didn't because of storage. I adore the characters are great. The story's great. You relate to Woody and Buzz. You relate to a lot of the characters in this. It's kept my interest the entire time. And there was one point where someone came up to ask me a question in the library, and I almost got kind of annoyed because I was like, I'm watching Toy Story.
That's a great story.
I didn't say that out loud. I didn't say that out loud.
That's the best way to pitch it to somebody. It's so good. It's gonna make you not like people.
I like toys more. But I didn't say that out loud, but I was thinking in my head, what do you want? I'm watching Toy Story. and I usually, you know me, I'm a friendly person. He's like, hey, what's up? How you doing? But I'm like, hello.
Oh, hey.
Hey, what do you want? Oh, you want me to sign this? Sure. Okay, Toy Story. I will, and after rewatching this film again, there's a list we made about all the Pixar films ranked, and I don't know about you guys, but I keep tossing around, I keep rearranging the list like it's a buffet table on Variety Night. And I don't know where it is now, but I really, really like the film. It was great in childhood and it still holds up now. The question is, would they be able to follow up with their next hit? A Bug's Life. Coming soon.
Coming soon to a podcast near you.
All right, guys. Let's sign off.
So we would rank. We are gonna get. I do want us to get into the habit of ranking these at the end.
Yeah.
But I mean, we only have Toy Story to rank now. So how would you rank Toy Story compared to Toy Story?
I think it's the best Toy Story.
Out of those movies, Toy Story is the best one. I agree.
Yes.
Yes, it's definitely number one in our list of one.
Yes.
Yes.
Without a doubt.
Eloquently put. Eloquently
All right.
put. Thank you.
Okay. I'm Random Bystander here.
I'm the Wasp _
I'm KirbyFan.
And we're concluding this podcast.
And we're concluding this podcast.
Have a good night.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
See ya.